And we're back. We're going to talk about the peripheral nervous system, the autonomic branch, which I hope you're here because this will help you understand and has helped me understand quite a bit about my thoughts and anxieties and the like. Your autonomic nervous system is automatic. It's involuntary. These are things that go on behind the scenes all the time, allowing us to survive and get ready for action and relax after the action is taken. And we'll look at the sympathetic branch and the parasympathetic branch. So your brain automatically sympathizes with you when you're in danger, when it detects danger. And that's what the sympathetic branch is all about. And then the changes that are made because you're in sympathetic nervous system arousal, those have to be reversed when the danger is gone, and that's what the parasympathetic nervous system is all about. Let's look at that in more detail. Follow along with me here. So, sympathetic nervous system. Your brain has one response, and only one response to danger, and it's the same response every time. Sometimes it's very intense, sometimes it's relatively mild, but it's the only way that the brain can deal with danger, and the symptoms of that are due to sympathetic nervous system arousal. Brain detects danger, whether it's conscious or unconscious, and your brain sounds the alarm, and it immediately sends a signal to the parts that create arousal to get you ready for action. So you're walking down the alley, minding your own business, and this creature, 7 feet tall, drooling saliva and blood, is coming towards you. Now, consciously, you may be saying to yourself, wow, that's a really good costume. That's a tall person inside of that alien suit. Unconsciously, your brain is saying, I'm going to die. And the moment your brain detects that level of danger, it sounds the alarm, gets you ready for action in what's called, and firing off what we know as the fight or flight response. The fight or flight response is designed to get you ready to fight faster and better and stronger than you ever fight, or to get you to run away like a scared chicken. That's the flight. And you have a split second to decide how you're going to use the energy that your brain is going to provide for you to do that. Interestingly, within the last 10 years, when scientists have been looking at animal behavior, certainly when herds of wildebeest are threatened by a tiger at the edge of their herd, they begin to run, almost like a flock of birds. You can watch them change direction, and they're running. The scientists began to look very closely at who's running at the front and who's running at the back, and they found, lo and behold, the males, for the most part, are running at the front. They're faster runners. At the back, what they found would be females. What's happening to the kids? Well, the females, in the tend and befriend reaction to sympathetic nervous system arousal, they turn to the young and tend to herd them along. Every once in a while you'll get a brave male who fights off the lion, but generally the males are already at the front of the pack, and so they're, or flock or whatever, and so they're running away. Fight or flight involves an emotional arousal. That's that I've got to get out of here, or I've got to fight for my life sensation inside of an individual when they're in an emergency. You've probably experienced having an argument where somehow your brain ticked off that this isn't just an argument, this is a fight for your existence or a fight for your life. Sometimes husband and wife arguments get to this level. And at that moment, emotional arousal kicked in, and the brain at a very primitive level is saying, you've got to kill or be killed. You must win this argument because this person is now your enemy. And that's how you can say horrific things to your spouse or to a friend in a moment of passion. That passion is fight or flight. You're fighting for your life. That's coupled with the release of adrenaline from your adrenal glands that sit down here on top of each kidney. Adrenaline, or epinephrine, is the powerhouse hormone, powerhouse chemical that's constantly being produced by your adrenals and only is released when the brain sends a signal that it's needed. It gives you a burst of energy causes a lot of changes internally to your organ systems and gives you that rush of alertness. Also involves a release of cortisol, which is a strength hormone, which means that it is humanly possible for even a small person to exert enough oomph of muscle power to lift a car, enough to get somebody's leg out from under it. Also involves a release of glucose. After you've been in a fight for your life, or run away from an enemy or a big car accident, generally you are completely drained after that experience, emotionally and physically. One of the reasons for that is that when you go into fight or flight, your body immediately releases all of its excess glucose stores into your bloodstream. That's the fuel that drives you. All of it is dumped rather than it being slowly dosed out over the course of the day. And it takes the liver a little while to restore those stores, to build up those stores again. So you're going to be tired for a while. It's going to be probably best to sit still and maybe take a nap or relax to the best of your ability. Another thing that your brain does when that those hormones do is they rechannel blood flow. That's one of the most startling things that happens. Many of you who've been anxious before feel that feeling in the pit of your stomach that you signal as anxiety. Some people call it butterflies in their stomach or stomach cramping. And usually the cramping comes after the danger. What's happened in an anxiety-provoking event is the blood flow to your digestive system is not all, but is in part rechanneled to your muscles and to your brain. Your brain gets a huge dose of oxygenated blood so you can think as clearly as possible and make your way through the situation, but also to your muscles. Your muscles are engorged with oxygen-rich blood during these fight or flight or tend and befriend interactions. Some other things that happen: your pupils dilate. Dilation means they open up versus constricting. They go down to a pinpoint. The more open your pupil is, the more light that's allowed inside, so you can see better. Some of you, when you give speeches or get nervous, your mouth goes dry. It's because in sympathetic nervous system arousal and fight or flight, you don't need to be eating potato chips. You need that fluid for other uses, blood volume. So it inhibits salivation, accelerates your heart rate, relaxes your bronchi, allowing more oxygen to pass through and oxygenate the blood, and inhibits stomach and pancreas activity, slows down digestion, stimulates the secretion of epinephrine, inhibits intestinal activity, relaxes the bladder, and inhibits sex structures. Hard to be sexually aroused when you're in danger. That usually comes after the danger. Part of that is a biological process where you're not able to experience that because that energy is needed elsewhere. Likewise, your bladder, you don't want to be carrying around a full bladder while you're running away from danger or fighting for your life. Very often in real accidents, people, the sphincter will relax and the bladder will release its contents. It can be very embarrassing, but that's a normal biological reality and function of the sympathetic nervous system. So we've had all these major changes that go on in danger, and danger's over. How are they reversed? The parasympathetic nervous system comes in, and if sympathetic is fight or flight, parasympathetic is rest and digest. Blood flow is released from the muscles in the brain to the extent that it was borrowed, and it goes to your digestive tract, and sometimes the restarting, in a sense, of your digestive tract comes with cramping or comes with irritable bowel issues. And all your vegetative functions restore, your ability to sleep, your ability to engage in intimacy, and other things due to parasympathetic nervous system arousal. We're going to stop there, and I'm going to come back and want to draw a correlation between fight or flight and anxiety, they're the same thing. Whether you're dealing with the huge alien walking towards you in the alleyway, or you're standing up to give a speech in front of a group of people, your brain interprets that as danger. Danger of judgment from the group, danger of failure in front of a group, versus danger of being torn apart by the alien. So knowing that gives us incredible power over those feelings of anxiety. And we're going to pick up there next when I come back.